Hey everyone, I am THPine and welcome back to Infinifactory. We're looking at the guided Javelin 1 level, and this is my solution for minimum cycle with basic blocks only, so only blocks you have when you play this level for the first time, so no rotators and stuff. It's 63 cycles, which is actually a current high score as well. I'm not the first one to reach 63 though, but this is my solution with basic blocks only. I think it might be possible to get quicker solutions with rotators and stuff. But nobody did it yet, so this is the current quickest solution overall. And yeah, so let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? So basically, we split up the blocks as always when we're trying to get minimum cycle. So we got 15 blocks out here, and interestingly enough, those things are not well, they are the bottleneck. At the same time with those though, those are the bottleneck as well. So we have to be careful for the second wave of those. So the last block of the second wave of those, and the 10th block of the top parts of the javelins. So this block is the important one, and I think this one probably might be this one actually. Not sure. So we split them up and we moved them over here. Where do we continue? We continue over there. Let's talk about the bottom part and well, the first part of the javelin first. So the bottom parts go over here, fall down here. And this thing is timing them, so it's delaying a few of them, which is important. And then basically what happens, I will explain that stuff back there in a second. They move over there, and then they get pushed in here by sensors and pushers and stuff, and they will fall down and connect and get welded to a javelin. Let's watch that again. It's kind of hard to see stuff, so let's keep an eye on this one here. Okay, so I think it should be this bottom part. No, okay, the next one. Never mind. So the bottom part moves out, and then the blocks fall down. And since this is built like this, they fall down in one row basically, and we get the star part of the javelin. Okay, let's take a look back here. Okay, first, those are super simple. It's just sensor, conduit, pusher. Nothing fancy about this. This one's a little bit more tricky. There might be a simpler solution than this, but I could not figure it out, but I'm pretty sure it's probably possible to build this a little easier. So what we have, the problem is they will come in here, at some point we will have 2 blocks come in here in 3 cycles, so only 1 cycle in between. And if you know anything about pushers, you know that you cannot get them past there without delaying the second one, because a pusher needs 3 cycles. 1 to push, 1 to go back in, and then 1 cycle rest to get the block in front of it. So pusher was not an option here, so I used this pushing conveyor belt, basically, which is getting moved by blocks like this. So it is, as you can see here, for the first 4 blocks straight, and then things activate, and this was one getting pushed out and goes in there, and then everything falls into place. So how did I build this thing? Well, since I only can use basic blocks, we have to get a NOT here, so we had to negate an input signal. So I got this sensor on top of the pusher, and it's getting activated by this thingy, which is then getting activated by this thingy. Connecting this pusher with this conduit though was a little tricky because we don't have space here, so I had to move it in with the conveyor belt. As you can see here, it moves in there and connects them then, which was a little finicky. There might be an easier solution to this, but yeah, this is what I came up with. So another tricky part was the fourth production line here basically, or the 4th javelin, or the second one actually if you count from the front. The problem is that they have to move here, and we needed those conveyors here for the first javelin, so we could not just continue the conveyor line here and move them in this direction, which made it a little harder to weld them. And so I came up with the piston welder here, so push up with a welder in front, and as you can see, it goes out when the javelin comes here, welds them together, and well, retreats then to let it through. It connects with, or the welder will be connected with this welder basically, and yeah, so that's how this works. Oh yeah, we did not look at the welders yet. So the welders are basically always 2 on top of each other to connect the 2 falling parts to the bottom part of the javelin. So those two, those 2, those 2. Okay, so the trickiest part was the first javelin, I think, because we don't have enough space here. Basically, as you can see, if we get 15 blocks out here, and we don't want to use the first row here because we have to get the bottom parts out there, we have to get this block onto this line where the top parts are as well. But we need the top parts to be on this line as well, so we have a little problem here. So what we do is we let them fall. We have this conveyor on the pusher here, which makes space basically to let it fall down, and those two will fall down as well to get on this line, to get below that conveyor, which the top part will be on. And then they use the same technique as the others, just a little different placement. So they come down here. As you can see, they're in one row again, as the others are as well. And then we use the same technique with the falling down stuff here. And let's get over here. As you can see, this one triggers the pusher, as for all the other ones as well. And they just fall into place and create a nice javelin. And then the top parts will all come in here on the last slot before the exit, and we'll just weld. Okay, so there was one more problem. The javelins did not come in time, so I had to put a pusher here, which basically blocks the javelin when it has to make it stop for one cycle, so the top part can weld on top of it, as you can see here. So then we had one more tricky thingy. For the second wave, the top parts will be delayed. As you can see here, it's getting blocked and delayed, and again. It is only delaying this one. All the others are not affected. Only this one is delayed, but this is delayed by, I think, 2 cycles. Yeah, and so we had to be a little careful with the javelin here. So as you can see, this javelin will wait here for multiple cycles, and this one has to wait for a little longer as well. So all the other ones will come in quite perfect. And there we go. So that's basically a setup. Everything on top of here is timing. So those are 2 clocks I did build. It's 32 cycle clocks because we have 32 cycles. Basically, yeah, getting 15 blocks out here, 1 cycle pause. Times 2 is 32. And yeah, a lot of sensor stuff. It's just 2 clocks basically, which are connecting all or triggering all the timing stuff. So this part to time the bottom parts. What else? Oh yeah, by the way, this conduit, I didn't explain that earlier, is connected to this sensor. The sensor had to be higher than the other ones because it has to activate earlier, because the construction takes a little longer because of the knot block and everything. So yeah, that was important to get that higher. So what else is timed? Yeah, the piston welder is timed. Obviously, this thing is timed, and yeah, those 2 things are timed as well. Obviously, well, this is actually not timed. The pusher or the wafer in the beginning is just triggered by his own sensor, but this thing is obviously timed, so they can fall down there. Actually, it might be possible to activate this thing with this sensor as well. Maybe. Could be done, I think, but it doesn't really matter because we have the clock here anyway. This clock's a little crowded. You could split that up more nicely. You can probably save a few footprints here and there. I think you could probably move this stuff a little bit more efficient to save 1 footprint or so. Probably on other spots as well, but it's pretty optimized already. I don't think you can go way lower than this while still staying at 63 cycles, obviously. It's 249. I think it's a little more than 249. It's 250, I think, because we get one of those over there fall out there. I don't think the solution is running infinitely, but that's okay. So yeah, 250 footprint. I think you can maybe go a little lower, but not much. And as I said, you cannot go lower than this without using rotators. It might be possible with rotators though, but nobody did yet. So this is the current high score for training routine. No training routine. Guided Javelin 1. It's 63 cycles, basic blocks only. And thanks a lot for watching. Have fun and see you next time.